Hey everybody, this is TotalGamerJunkie. I want to welcome you all back to my channel. So in this video, I want to give a shout out to one of my commenters called Frizz. I hope I'm saying that right. Now, Frizz, 5 days ago, left me a comment, because I've been reading and replying to comments now, as I haven't been doing that recently, so I'm sorry. But the comment that he sent me is pretty interesting, and I'd like to talk to you about it, and it's also the reason I'm making this video. So Frizz wrote, "Something that bothered me after watching the opening gameplay video was realizing that we start the game with Alex having her powers, and this, on my opinion, is very weird considering we are shown in all the other games how the characters get their powers, which, with the exception of Captain Spirit, as that is a spin-off, like it's canon of course, but that game just tricked us into believing that Chris had the powers, but you know, some people weren't fooled. They knew that it was actually Daniel that had his powers. So anyway, which is generally a traumatic incident involving powers. Hell, even the comics that I don't think have any consistency with the series show us how Tristan and Pixie got their powers in the same traumatic fashion. This also bothers me because even if we get a quick flashback showing us how she got her powers, we don't get to see how she is coming to terms with them, learning to use and hide them, or anything of that sort that can give a lot of character development. I just feel that they are rushing it to the town to give Gabe more screen time and make us care more about him so his death has more weight. Now, I do agree with a few things, and I do disagree with a few things as well, but one of the things I do agree with is the rushing. You know, like Gabe is, because you know, if you're gonna rush, like the point of having a good, compelling story is pacing. You know, if you rush into things too quickly, then you know, obviously it's gonna suck. But if you just drag stuff along, then you know, it's gonna be a bore. It's like you know, what's that? I can't remember it. There was this story I had a reference to this. I can't remember it. But yeah, I do think that Gabe, because I mentioned this in previous videos before, I don't want Gabe killed off straight away. We need at least a few hours to get to know him. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, his death isn't really going to have much meaning. It's like, take Chloe's death for example. She dies in like the opening of Life is Strange, but then of course the game has this rewind time to save her, and then it makes that choice at the end, letting Chloe die. That's more impactful because we've got to go on this journey with her. We've got to know her strengths, her weaknesses, what we've learned to like things about her and also hate things about her. You know, well, not for me, hate. I'd say I dislike some things, but I don't outright hate things about Chloe. Fucking love Chloe. But yeah, and then when you compare it to Esteban's death in Life is Strange 2, that's actually, I feel that death is, well, yeah, it's, you know, it helps propel the story forward. I felt it was done in a way that didn't feel rushed. It felt natural, you know, because you're exploring the place, you have to get stuff for this party that Sean's going to. So yeah, I felt his death, you know, while I wish we could have seen more of Esteban in the game, you know, for a little longer, I think that his death was well paced out. Now, one of the things that I've actually just been I've just been going over in my head after reading your comment, Frizz. I think it's very interesting because there's a new trailer going to cover that with Eleanor, and you see Alex use her power, and you can see that she's gone inside her mind. She's seeing Eleanor's mental state, and the look on her face is it's not like she's shocked at what she's seeing. It's like she's shocked at what happened. To me, it looks like this is the first time that Alex has ever experienced this. It's like the time when Max discovered that she was able to travel 5 years back in time into her 13-year-old body. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because Alex is an antisocial person. like her powers are empathy. She has the power of empathy, and because she's an antisocial person, it makes sense to me that she's not going to try and embrace her power. Instead, she's shutting herself off from other people, and so that shuts off the power. So because she's rejecting her own power, she's not embracing it due to her being antisocial, so she's not reaching her full potential, you know. So I think that that makes sense why she's not as powerful, because let's face it, if she can sense people's emotions, then and it's clear that she can read people's minds for a certain bit. Imagine if she was actually able to, when she first got her powers, if she actually was able to use them, if she wasn't antisocial and she just embraced it, what she was doing, like she could be, she could use her power to read people's mental state, like more than what we see in the game. She could literally be a mind reader. And I think that if she was able to like fully read minds like Charles Xavier from X-Men, then there wouldn't be much mystery to the story. She'd be able to figure out who killed Gabe like that. So I think her being antisocial is great for her powers, because she has to use her powers to figure out who killed Gabe. So she has to stop being antisocial. She needs to come out of her shell and embrace her true self, like powers, just everything, you know. Well, at least that's just my theory, Frizz. You know, you could disagree with me, you can agree with me, you know. But I just thought I'd give you my thoughts. Great comment, by the way. And if any of you have any other theories, please leave them in the comments. And if I find an interesting one, like Frizz's, I'll read it and I'll make a video about it. So anyways, that's the end of this video. Is that the end of this video? Let me see. Yeah, there is one more thing I want to bring up. So there's been a lot of talk about the time zone happening with Life is Strange True Colors. Sometimes I've made a post about this, so you can check that out. But in some places it's coming out September 9th, in other places it's September 10th. For me, because I live in Australia, it's coming out September 10th at midnight. But other places it's coming out on September 9th. So I think what's happening is it might be due to the certain regions or time. Certain regions are going to have different time zones, which means I think what's happening is the game is going to come out at the exact same time, but due to different time zones in different regions, it's going to be like different for everyone, but it's all going to happen at exactly the same time. You know what I mean? So yeah, anyways, that's the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. This is TotalGamerJunkie, signing off.